I've resisted commenting on the controversy surrounding Roy Moore out of a Christian sense of duty to judge according to righteous judgment and not according to appearances, waiting for all the pertinent facts to appear. John 7:24. Now, that being said, I'm breaking my silence due to the glaring hypocrisies and sanctimonies that are being left unchallenged. I ask the listener to patiently and carefully listen to what I'm about to say, as there is plenty of nuance to discuss. It was recently propagated by sportscaster Leanne Tweeden that Senator Al Franken groped and violently kissed her during a USO tour in 2006. The vulgar details, including photographic proof, are readily available online. Immediately after the news broke, Franken, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the leftist mainstream media, and even imbecile wood celebrities, allow me to say imbecile wood is my new name for Hollywood, all of these individuals and entities undertook damage control mode. Now, some who are well aware of the developments will question and challenge my description of what transpired. They'll state that authentic outrage is what has been mostly on display. I say that that's not the case, and I'll prove it. Let's address Tweeden first. I don't know if the listener is aware of her history, but she is no model of moral decency and feminine virtue. Tweeden worked at Hooters for a spell, appeared in the company's annual calendar in 1994, posed for Playboy twice, non-nude in 1996 and then nude in 2011, and appeared almost bare-chested on the cover of For Him magazine, FHM for short, in 2007. In other words, Tweeden's talents lie in her using her figure to excite masculine sensuality and lasciviousness for money. Curiously, she was a frequent participant of the Great American Panel featured on Sean Hannity's show during 2011-2012 on Fox News. I wonder if her participation had anything to do with her political views. I might be digressing here, but I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt. No mincing words. Tweeden is the type that implies I'm an easy girl. Hence, it isn't difficult to conclude why Franken, a proven degenerate whose current occupation as an elected politician provides him a false cover of respectability, thought he could joke around with her during the USO tour. It is for these reasons and others that I refuse to echo the selective indignation over Franken's actions. I prefer to sympathize with respectable, honorable women, not females who present themselves as instruments for the sinful desires of the opposite sex. The same women who are then surprised that the men they seduced originally eventually act upon what they were sending those men as a message. Please understand, in no way am I defending Franken. What he did was utterly reprehensible. He should be expelled from the Senate straight away and should have been prosecuted when the groping took place. Yet, Tweeden's opportunism is manifest in that fact. Why else would she release the now famous photo 11 years after the incident? Why didn't she report the thing immediately after it happened? CBS News notes that she was, quote, hesitant to initially share her story publicly out of fear that backlash may affect her broadcasting career, end quote. Stated differently, her career has been more important to her than her honor. Notice, too, that she implicitly admits that the field she desired to work in is replete with reprobates. Now, let's comment on the politicians, media figures, and celebrities that have inserted themselves into this farce. Firstly, I wonder if Mitch McConnell, John McCain, Mitt Romney, and other establishment Republicans will ever call on Franken to step aside like they have Roy Moore. Surely, Moore's accusers have piled up, but no pictographic nor verifiable evidence has been given to substantiate the women's claims. At this point, a yearbook with an inscription that appears to have been forged, unconfirmed rumors as to Moore having been banned from a Gadsden, Alabama mall in the 1970s, and hearsay published by a newspaper known for political hack jobs on Republicans, namely the Washington Post, is all they have. Furthermore, all of these claims have been publicized 40 years after the alleged incidents. Being that there is corroborating evidence of Franken's depredation, why aren't McConnell, McCain, Romney, and others calling for the immediate ouster of Franken? I'll give you the answer. But first, let us remember that McConnell recently stated that the Senate Ethics Committee, the same committee that has handed no sanctions during the last 11 years, even though 613 allegations have come before it, should investigate the matter. Is it any wonder why Franken has called for an investigation into himself? It's all laughable. McCain, Romney, and gang have been virtually silent on the matter. Here's the answer. Could it be more evident that the reason establishment Republicans loudly denounced Moore and have pleaded the fifth on Franken is because they don't want Moore to be a part of the upper chamber of Congress? Not to be left alone, the Democrats' hypocrisy on the matter can only be described in one word: typical. This is the same political party that screams to the high heavens about women's rights, rape culture, and the so-called wage gap, and yet nominates, supports, and defends pedophiles, deviants, and outright murderers like Joe Biden, John F. Kennedy, Bill Clinton, and Ted Kennedy, respectively. Rascals, the lot of them, I tell you. The same individuals who corruptly grow their own power and bank accounts, sell their country and countrymen to the highest bidder, and behave as dissolutely as those that they publicly rebuke. This is an important side note. I have no reason to defend Judge Roy Moore. I don't know the man personally and therefore cannot vouch for his character. Certainly, many of his social and political positions and actions are laudable. Yet it could very well be that Moore was a pedophile and, if so, should be punished. Still, until incontrovertible proof can be shown, it seems to me that this entire controversy has been drummed up in order to spoil Moore's chances at the ballot box. If women want to be believed, folks, they shouldn't hire scandal-causing, fame-seeking, historically slanderous Gloria Allred to represent them. Second, in this point, I laugh when the mainstream media and imbecile would desire that I and the general public would feel outrage over what they think I and you should be scandalized over. This from the very same entities who have dedicated themselves to glorifying and normalizing debauchery through their countless rancid television programs, movies, opinion pieces, and propaganda disguised as news reports. Noteworthy is how the news media has given extensive coverage to Moore's accusers while deciding to say next to nothing about the recently declared mistrial, the corruption trial that is, of Bob Menendez. Remember that accusations against the New Jersey senator included soliciting and paying for prostitution of underage girls in the Dominican Republic. Many have even proceeded to defend Al Franken whilst continuously screeching that Moore ought to drop out of his race. The Washington Post, the newspaper that originally published the accusations of Moore's first 5 accusers, recently published an op-ed from a woman calling herself a feminist who claims that Al Franken should stay in his seat. Ironic? The same goes for celebrity actors. How is it that a person like Alyssa Milano, a woman who clung to fame by exposing her bare body on several movies, feels justified in lecturing others on what is right and wrong through her Twitter feed? It's obvious these rabble-rousers don't have a conscience. If they did, they would desist from sermonizing others, knowing that they would look like the hypocrites that they are for condemning what they and the industries they represent have helped popularize. I'm telling you, folks, not even vaudeville could have written a script this interesting. By the way, where's the popcorn?